Okay, so this is Ringwalk Media in association with Well Ice Therapy. Tyrone McKenna, welcome to Belfast.
I'm from Belfast, so welcome to Belfast yourself.
Yeah, well, listen. Yeah, of course. Every time we're here, we have a great time, and of course, massive night for Conlan Boxing. And one of your stablemates, Sean McComb, he's out defending his European title.
Thankfully, you said his name right. A lot of people call him McComb, and it does my fucking head in. But anyway, yes, he's fucking looking unbelievable in the ring. Or in the gym, he's sparring unbelievable. He had a great win the last against
Casey Benjamin.
Yeah, Casey Benjamin. I was doing the opposite, but I had a great win there, and he's just going to go strength to strength. I think he's so talented, and people don't realise how talented he is. He had that one defeat against Gavin Gwynn, who's I think flying at the minute as well, and I think people base a lot on that defeat. But I don't think his camp was great there, and since he's joined Pete, he's improved so much, and he's looking electric in the ring.
Yeah, we were talking to him earlier, and he said he had a great performance against Casey Benjamin, but he was still learning in the gym, and he had a good camp, and he's looking on fire.
Yeah, to be honest, for that Casey fight, he only had like 5 weeks' notice. So if that was him on 5 weeks, he's had plenty of time for this fight, so he's going to look unbelievable. I'm a big McComb fan. Even the atmosphere out there at the minute, and the big fights haven't even started yet. It's exciting. It's a great show. It's fair play to Paddy. He's headlining it. I think he deserves it. He's 35 now, so the same headline this kind of event. I think he deserves it.
Listen, hopefully if he comes through this fight tonight, his manager Lee will be knocking on the door for a world title fight for him.
100%. I think he deserves it as well. I think he's number 2 or number 3 in the world at the minute. He's been calling out for the big fights. Unfortunately, no one's accepted him yet. But I think once he gets a win here, he shows that he can sell tickets and that he's a main event fighter. I think people will start taking notice, and he'll hopefully get that big world title fight.
Well, listen, let's talk about yourself. You're in camp also, fighting very shortly.
Yep, it's getting announced in the next right before Paddy's fight. So I'm fighting in the RDS. On the 16th of September down in Dublin. My first time I've headlined, and it's not even in my own city, it's in Dublin. But I think Conlan Promotions knows Tyrone McKenna is so popular he can headline any fucking city in Ireland. So they've stuck me in Dublin. I'm buzzing. It's an IBO world title. It's against an undefeated Italian, Esposito. He's 17-0. He come forward, he's aggressive, and he's kind of like a Chris Jenkins fighter. We all watched that fight I had last year with him, which was a toe-to-toe phone booth kind of fight. So I'm expecting something more of the same. Finally, I'm headlining. So usually I go in these fights and I say, right, I want to steal the show. Now I'm going in as a headline. I want to make this night a one to remember. I want people to go home and say Tyrone McKenna's fucking entertainment. He's worth the money. I want people to come out in their thousands and support every time we fight, and they do come out, and that's why I give them entertainment.
I'll tell you what, you like an Italian, don't you?
I fucking love an Italian. Pizza, pasta, anything. But listen.
Yeah, Mr. Big Mark stitched you up, didn't he? He's here, he's round the corner, hiding.
He's a wanker. I'll let you know. Well, it's on my podcast, but I was in Portugal, and I got a phone call from Big Mark. He's a cup man, and he said, "Here, Alexandra. He owns a few restaurants in Portugal. Can you call around him? He's a big boxing fan." And I said, "Mark, I don't like doing that. Especially when he hasn't talked to me. He's talking to me." He said, "Mate, I already said you're calling around. He just wants a photo. He's going to give you and your family a bit of free food. It'd be great." And I said, "Right, fuck it. Since you've already said I'm coming, I'll go." So I went around, sat down. This girl comes over, takes my order, and I say, is the boss here, Alexander? He said, "The boss?" I said, "Yeah, the boss." He's expecting me. So he comes out, and I say, "Well, Alexander, I'm Mark Kennedy's friend." He said, "Mark?" And I said, "Mark Kennedy from Ireland." He said, "Oh." I said, "You're a boxing fan, aren't you? You're a big boxing fan?" He said, "You're a boxing fan?" He said, "I don't watch boxing, mate." I said, "What do you mean? Mark Kennedy?" And then I realised what the fuck he had just done. I went, I'm a dickhead, and I went red. And he was just standing there like, "What are you doing here?" He charged me full price. So see you, Alexander, you owe me money.
Was it nice though?
He was sound, he was nice. I think he laughed and he knew what my mate had done. And he gave me a 50% discount for the next time we come, but he charged me full whack. And my kids the whole holiday, anytime we went in the restaurant, we getting this for free, Daddy, and then slagging me.
Excuse the language, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, he deserves it because yeah, that was a good stitch up. But he's a bit notorious, isn't he, Big Mark?
Listen, he's flat out doing. That's why I shouldn't have believed him. He does that constantly to me, and he knows I'm an awkward person. Do you like
well stopped.
an awkward person, and he knows that it kills me, that kind of stuff. So, well, after they had the laugh, it was brilliant.
Well, listen, a few good fights coming up recently, and a couple of guys that you've actually fought. You know, Progress is out, and Jack Carroll as well.
Yeah, I seen Jack Carroll just got announced today against Linares. I actually think that's a great fight. I think a lot of people are saying Linares is past it, and he's got knocked out his last few fights, but I still think he's lethal. I just think the times that he did get beat, I just think don't think he was switched on. I've been watching his Instagram, and I think he's a bit more switched on now. So I think him and Jack's actually going to be a good fight. I do think Jack wins, but I think it will be a better fight than a lot of people are expecting. And then Prograis, I'm a big Prograis fan. Obviously, I fought him. I have a good relationship with Prograis. He's a lovely guy, and I think he's unbelievable. I think he's I know he's highly rated, but I think he's underrated as well. I think the skill level when I was in with him was just frightening. He's elusive. He hits hard as fuck, and he's just dangerous with both hands and such a good boxer. And then
hard to beat.
He's so hard to beat, and I think Devin Haney is lethal. But I don't know. I just think I fancy Prograis. Maybe I'm biased. I like Prograis more, but it'll be a great fight as well. I'm glad he did step up to fight Prograis because it's going to be a great fight.
Well, listen, talking of fights, obviously you've got your fight, great fight, and you come through that fight.
Don't say.
Okay, you will come through that fight. There are a few names knocking around, like the likes of Conor Benn, perhaps.
Listen, Conor Benn, all day. I'd love to fight him. I've got a lot of people who want to call out after. I'm focusing on Esposito right now. Stop you trying to get an exclusive call outs.
Not at all.
But look, there's loads of fighters that I do want to fight. The welterweight division is a stacked division with great fights, big opportunities. So once I come through Esposito, you will hear the long list of people I'm going to call out.
Well, we can't wait for that. And it's going to be a cracking fight as well in Dublin. It's a great venue.
Listen, Dublin's been starved of boxing for many years, and they've only started getting back to boxing. They've had the Katie Taylor fight, and they're now having my fight. So I expect this to sell pretty quick. I think Dublin are big boxing fans. It's a big boxing city. They're always coming out for support. They always travel up to here for support. So to have a massive fight like my fight in their city, I think, and then there's a lot of all Irish clashes in it, which I believe are the big selling point of fights. Like, people love to see rivalries in their own country. I think there's a lot of pressure on the fighters from their own country to fight another countryman. So I think there'll be a lot of needle and a lot of excitement and a lot of buzz between their fights. So I'm expecting a big night and a sell.
I'm just so pleased to see boxing back properly in Ireland, because it's been a couple of years where it just wasn't any, and now it's just like a breath of fresh air again.
I'm excited. You know, there's so much talent in Ireland. Like, it's stacked with talent, and sometimes we don't get the notoriety that we need. We don't get the TV that we need or deserve. And it's good to see that we're starting to get a bit of big time boxing back in Ireland, and people are getting the big stage and big fights and big nights to showcase their skills and maybe catch the eye of Eddie Hearn or catch the eye of Frank Warren or anyone or Top Rank and get signed by them big people.
Well, a fight that I think I'd like to see now is Jazza Dickens versus Mick Conlan.
That's a great fight. I mean, Jazz Dickens, obviously stablemate. Mick Conlan, a friend. It's a great fight.
They both need to come back. They could have it as a world title eliminator.
100%. It makes sense. It does make sense. I think Jazza, 100%. From speaking to him previously, he would love that fight. I haven't actually ever spoke to Mick about the fight, so I don't know what his feelings are about it. But
big in Dublin, that.
It'd be huge in Dublin. It'd be huge anywhere. I mean, Belfast, Mick sells out fucking against anyone in Belfast. He could bring someone from Castle Street and into the arena and fight, and he'd still sell out the place. So Mick's just a massive name in Belfast, full stop. So no matter who he fights, never mind Jazza Dickens. If Jazza Dickens fights him, that's a huge fight.
Yeah, it's one that we'll keep our fingers crossed for that one.
Yep.
Might be a good one. Now listen, it's a cracking night ahead.
Yep.
We're going to let you go off and enjoy the night. But just before we go, your podcast, tell everyone where it is, because I've watched it and it's brilliant.
Yep, it's 100. Get on it. Whiskey and Wade. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on everything. Whiskey and Wade. Me and Tommy McCarthy. We're the hosts. We have big guests on it. We have massive guests, and it's just a bit of comedy and a bit of informative comedy. And we're doing our next lives next week in the Davenish. So anyone watching this from Belfast, get to the Davenish next week, Wednesday, the 9th of August. It's part of the Fela, which is unbelievable. I mean, from doing it, just starting up the podcast about a year ago, and now we're on our own show in the Fela. It's fucking unbelievable. With massive guests that night. It's near a sellout. We've our first live about 6 months ago. It was a sellout straight away, and now we've got another show. It's near selling out, so we're buzzing. We're strength to strength. We don't even need the box anymore.
Well, don't give up just yet, because we enjoy your fights, mate. Listen, appreciate your time. Good luck in September, and we hope that you come out with that title.
Thank you.